Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Download Queue on a special time, Monday. This isn't the third time we've slotted this week. You know, it has been. It's all good. We're still here, still talking about games, because this is a weekly video game podcast hosted by myself, Kyle the Do, and our other host, producer, the guy pressing all the buttons, who does most of the work, Jocko. How are you doing today, this Monday? How was work?
It's it's very late. It's a weird time to be doing this. Definitely not this first time we've done this episode, but not doing too bad. It's a weird week. We have stuff to talk about later that we're shipping you off. But like downtime for games, my week is empty now. Traders is over. I got no other shows besides Survivor. I had to pull out the Andy Richter shirt today just to like feel something in my veins. But we're doing good. Doing good.
I love that shirt so much. I love Andy Richter.
He's a gem.
He's awesome.
He's at the live Dancing with the Stars tour right now. If they're in your area, I think he's on for like another week at the live shows. So
if you were looking to go see Dancing with the Tours live, Dancing with the Stars live,
just Dancing with Andy Richter, honestly, you know.
It honestly should just be the Andy Richter tour. He could. Yeah, man, I miss him and Conan. I watched so much Conan on TBS, the whole NBC debacle thing. I was like, what? And then I was just at right age to be like, I'll start watching this. This is my humor, right? Around high school-ish, I think. Anyways, yeah, that's where I first saw them, and they're great. Had their podcast now. The rest of everyone else. Hey, we're doing that, though. But this episode, let's jump to it. We're going to be recapping our last month in February. We're going to be doing that this whole year. Probably we'll keep it up. We'll see. Maybe we hate it by the end of the year. But we're going to spend this episode recapping everything we played last month in February. We got some game reviews, some more previews, some more just thoughts about what we played. Definitely a lighter month for both of us. But next month is crazy. But I want to talk about the stuff that we predicted we were going to play in February. What I want to talk about first is a game that came out right at the beginning or the end of January. It's Final Fantasy VII. Me and my wife have been playing that. It's weird. Like, I feel like we talked about this before.
We have it
behind the scenes. I know behind the scenes, but my brain, I can't. My brain couldn't. Yeah, we've been playing that. We've met Don Cornejo. We're a little bit past that. We're trying to stop a plate from being destroyed and dropped onto a sector. It just is this world is so cool. Final Fantasy 16 was the first one I played, so I'm newer to the series, especially 7 and especially the whole combat and that stuff. But it's a lot of fun. Very frustrating at times with combat, but I keep wanting to play it. I don't want to. When I look at my Xbox and I'm like, what am I going to play tonight? I see Final Fantasy VII and I want to play it, but it's a game me and my wife are playing. It's really linear, way more than I thought it was. So like, I want to do the side stuff with her. I want us to experience this. That's why we're playing it. It's for the story. So very high on it. I can't wait to get to the end, get ready for Rebirth, get ready for the third one. I'm all in on the world. These characters are awesome. And they just only bend at the waist, some of those characters. You know what I mean? It's just only at the waist. And Don Corneo, man. Ugh, I love him. What a gross man.
What a gross man. How are you? We mentioned this when we tried doing this before. How are you doing the combat? Are you going all in? You're controlling everything? Are you sending? Because you can switch between characters and control them firsthand, or like queue up abilities and stuff for your side characters and just mainline one. Are you doing that, or are you switching between everyone actively?
It's a mix of both, depending on what I need. I'm more often using Cloud. And I feel like I'm about to get like a consistent. The party keeps changing so far between like Aerith and Barrett, Tifa. Like, story-wise, I haven't had consistency outside of Cloud, obviously. But I liked playing with Tifa and playing Tifa and whatnot. But definitely switching around. You have to like when you control the character, you you charge up your MP, if that's the right acronym. You charge up those faster. So I'll switch to Aerith to load that up to get her healing ability charged for everyone. Then I'll switch back and whatnot. I find myself utilizing the whole menu, the whole kit, and that's what I'm finding fun. There are moments, and my wife knows, it gets real frustrating because I think the game doesn't convey, in like an action game sense, convey what's coming at you very well. There's times where I'm like locked in on an enemy, and then all of a sudden I'm staggered and knocked back by something. I'm like, what hit me? Like nothing let me know I was about to be hit. So it's a little weird, and that gets frustrating. But outside of that, I am enjoying utilizing the whole thing. Going through the menu, seeing the power, seeing the abilities. I'm looking at every stop to see what the materia is. If it's like, oh, is that going to be something I can utilize? So I feel like I'm playing the game, which is cool, which is nice because like those frustrations aren't destroying my time. I'm like, I still want to play even though it's frustrating.
Yeah, that I only ask because I've jumped back into Rebirth the past week or so on the portal just as like a side thing. And the combat for me, I don't know if I just forgot something major of how it works and all intertwines, but even the smallest fight just getting and it could be it's open world, maybe it's leveled off like that wise, we're not supposed to be in areas yet, but I got to the first boss kind of to end chapter 2 of it, and it was like hanging on by a thread the entire time. Which I'm like, early game boss, it didn't feel good. Like, it felt frustrating to a point where, like, if I lose this, I'm just going to be done for a while again because it isn't fun. And I don't know if it's something like I forgot mechanic-wise that I just need to relearn or restart to understand again or what, but it's not a very good experience right now.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what that jump is playing Remake to Rebirth when that eventually comes out. I feel like you have to block a lot, and once I've been doing that, that's felt better. But some interesting. It's interesting seeing the Final Fantasy VII Remake be that merge between action and the turn based. Like it's really interesting coming from just playing Final Fantasy 16 and tactics now, which is a different thing. But I'm gonna throw that in there.
Still there. It's in the realm.
Exactly. Yeah, that one is the turn based thinking. Same style, but yeah, that's that. So keep you updated on that. It's been a week I think since we've played. We fell off, so on our trip coming up, actually, that is a perfect time to burst through some of that game at night on our little vacation outside of Marathon, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, good.
But yeah. But how about you? You were talking about staying into World of Warcraft. Midnight is upon us. I got an ad for Zillow and World of Warcraft on Zillow.
The housing.
What? Fill me in on what it's been like the past month in World of Warcraft for you.
That has the Zillow thing I talked about at the beginning of January, I think, and they partnered up and did a whole like potentially extreme home makeover thing in WoW, where each week it was like 8 teams of 2 got together and did like Pinterest boards of ideas and theming things. And then the next week was actually the decorating and creating, and people like toured around and voted. And now the winners are in Zillow. It's a fun time. No, it's been good. It's a weird thing where Midnight's not technically out. It's out tomorrow. Yeah. The rich people who paid for the special edition early access have been playing it the past weekend. So me and the rest of the poors are hanging out in the old areas, just like a ghost town, feeling cut off from everyone else experiencing the new expansion. But so far, everything's
wild that is a thing. Like
it sucks. It's not a good feeling. It's like, oh, there's still stuff I could be doing, but everyone's just gone. And you look for looking for group for dungeons and mythics, and they're just gone.
Yeah, what a way to split your community.
Yeah, it's a weird area, but everything I've seen, mostly spoiler free. Everyone's enjoying it. Storylines are really solid. Which is what I've kind of worried about. I mentioned before, the housing I really fear is going to be the main point of this expansion. I didn't want other aspects to suffer. But as of now, story seems really great. People like the new classes. Obviously, nothing endgame is in yet, so everyone's just kind of dinking around and new stuff, finding secrets, getting mounts, getting started. So this week will be a good week to go hard in it once it actually drops finally.
It's a little tangent here. Do they soft lock people in early access then? Or is it like you can hit the end of the campaign-ish thing? And then...
you can complete campaign. The whole campaign's open up to that point. People got max characters, multiple max characters. There's some stuff, I think, some new thing called Gray or Hunts or something isn't added yet. There's still some housing items that aren't added till it drops. The Mythic season, which is kind of the higher difficulty tier that scales for dungeons, the season 1 of that doesn't start till I think a week after tomorrow. So there's some stuff that are tiered off, but story and beats, the main 4 new experiences fully there.
That's cool. That's cool.
I'm excited.
Well,
Again, step 2 of the 3-part plan that they have, so we'll see.
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Do we know when the next thing is? It like were they yearly cadence or are they off of that?
I think it was. They said
I
they
can't
wanted them
remember.
to be faster than what old expansion times were before, which War
Okay.
Within came out August 26th, 2024. So about a year and a half.
And that honestly, that's not that awful of a
No.
turnaround for something like this. I think.
Yeah. Keeps
Yeah,
content
that's
coming
what
faster
Destiny
and
is. Like
fresher.
a year and a half would have been nice. Yeah. Cool.
Look, you don't make Destiny anymore. We're delaying Destiny content now.
Yeah, there's like nothing for now until June, and we'll see what that turns into.
We're reshaping
fun,
the next
fun.
expansion.
I have thoughts. I don't want to get on that tangent.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I could go off because it's a fun thought. But yeah, so that's kind of, I think we fell off of other games. I fell off of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but that's more of I hit a good stopping point and taking a break from it. It is kind of all I want to do game when I'm playing it. And yeah, I just kind of jumped off of it. So I'm ready to jump back into part 2, the second movie, the sequel, right? That's kind of how I'm viewing this giant epic. It's a nice ending going now. I mean, just got to Gutenberg, that whole region there. But yeah, other than that,
Coming to Game Pass
that's how
soon.
you got. Yes, that's really cool. First one's already on there, and yeah, second one's coming to Game Pass. So crazy. Witcher 3 is on there. That's crazy. Just
Cyberpunk
RPGs
coming.
if you're waiting. Is Cyberpunk going on there?
They did one of their like fake email marketing tweets today on Twitter, and it was like it'll be V exciting. There's like a V in like a weird font for Cyberpunk. So
I don't understand what the V has to do.
it's like the main
Oh,
characters.
Xbox had an email.
Yeah, like Xbox Game Pass
I
on
thought-
Twitter. They're like, we have a new
I
game
thought
coming.
Cyberpunk had the
No.
email, and I was like, yeah, I don't. What does that mean? Okay.
They
Damn,
do their
that's,
little cheeky
mean, hey,
things.
that's how they're gonna fill out the first half of the year. Is these giant, award-winning RPGs? Cool, whatever. My sub went up to $10 for that.
And
and not-
Fortnite.
Fortnite. No, it was for Fortnite. You can't say otherwise. Either way, let's move on. Let's talk about some reviews, previews. First up, we got to climb. I want to start with a climbing game that we talked about last episode, I think, a little bit. But that is Cairn, a climbing game from the studio, from the creators of Fury and Haven. This game was just getting rave reviews once it came out and people were playing it. People were just kind of like, whoa, this game's like really, really good. And visually, I played the demo and loved the climbing of it. So when this was coming out, I remembered, I was like, oh my God, I played it, or I played the demo, forgot how much I liked it, saw the reviews, got it. And what a game. Cairn is a phenomenal game. It is the best climbing sim out there. They just have the best climbing system of any game that has tried to do that. Just having done rock wall, climbed up a rock wall a couple times, spent hours belaying mostly, kids, but also adults as well. With my one job, I've just spent a lot of time behind a person, looking up at a rock wall and watching them climb and walking them through it in that instructor role. And Karen, the camera's right behind this person. And there was something for me that just, specifically to me, it made it nostalgic in a way, but also it just was like, yo, this game is legit. It just looks like you're actually climbing. Of course, some of the movements get a little wonky. That's a video game, but just seeing the main character's foot and her reaching to the handholds, and when you're climbing the wall, seeing what you can grab, very, very accurate. And it's very detailed, and it looks and I think it is handcrafted, that whole mountain. It's very, very, very cool. And it just achieves that exceptionally. And the whole idea of climbing a mountain is very, very solitary unless you're doing it with a group. But even then, it is you physically have to climb it, right? And that is this game. You are the one climbing it. The whole time you're climbing, you can pause and look back and you can see your whole path like dotted out. So you can see the whole time you've made up the mountain. It just achieves in making you feel how long you've climbed, how much you've trekked, how much ground you've covered. It does that very, very well with that. The story follows Ava, the main character. It's a pretty light story, but going off of like climbing being solitary, I think that goes hand in hand. You fill in a lot of the gaps for Ava, but I think that works. I think it is exceptionally done. Ava is a very closed off person, and she is going on this trek up Mount Kami. Mount Kami is a mountain that has never been climbed before. No one has been able to reach the summit that we know of. It's littered with bodies as you climb up. You're getting notes from some past climbers. You're seeing a past civilization that lived on the wall. They lived vertical, and they were sad that they had to go down and live horizontal. Love that. Love the idea of being like, yeah, we're vertical people. That's how we live.
Not anymore.
It just had a lot of charm and a lot of discoverability. You can go whatever path you want. Sometimes you'd find a map that would lay out paths and would show you how difficult or easy they would be. You can ignore that and go wherever you want. It is just an exceptional like exploration game as well. And the story really kind of guides introspective stuff. And there's 2 endings. I chose Ava to walk away and go home at first. And my journey with Ava that made a lot of sense. But then I loaded it back up and finished the climb. And man, that ending is powerful too. Having Ava finally achieve that goal. Having the question is, did she actually do it? Does it actually matter if she really finished it? I'll leave that to you, A fantastic game. Really, really good. Highly recommend.
I will say I've looked a little deeper and it has me intrigued. It seems to be enough difference from my time with Jasant, which I enjoyed for what it was, but like you mentioned with it being a solitary experience, the little side story pieces weren't enough to fully keep my attention. But looking at other reviews, listening to you talk and stuff, with people saying there's like mixtures of survival stuff, we actually have to like bandage yourself and heal and eat food, and there is other NPCs around the mountain that you're interacting with. I'm hoping there's like enough extra stuff there to, well, it's not just the climbing, because to me that gets very boring. Even with, this is maybe a more rocky area, you need to steady yourself to make it up, or plan for a different pathway based off of elements happening around you. But
and I loved the puzzle of being on the wall. How that felt, seeing like, that's a little far. You can see there's not many cracks, so if I don't have X amount of stamina, I'm gonna have to stop here, gain it back up and whatnot. Like it was a puzzle in and of itself at times, and I loved it. And anytime Ava slipped and fell, it was frustrating, and she was frustrated, and that made me frustrated. Not in a, this game sucks, but it's like, I know that sucked, you fell, but you got it. Like, and as she, they do a good job of conveying the stamina. Like, there's 2 HUDs. You can have immersive and then always on. And I had it immersive. It would only pop up when you're using something or when it needed to. So when you're climbing, it would just be she's shaking, right? And it did the game conveys when she's about to fall, when you're about to lose your grip, very well by her shaking, the screen kind of getting a little red and dark. But yeah, just and you shake it out and you go. It's just a very methodical, contemplative game when you're climbing, and then you reach the top and just the relief of just like, we did it. Like, it just achieves that so phenomenally. I just loved it.
How long do you think it took? What's the time length on it?
I think it was like 19
hours. Wow.
I could pull my Steam up and see what happens.
That's a lot longer than I was expecting.
Yeah, there is some exploration going on. And remember, I did beat it, and then I went back and beat it a second time. So there's a point where you have a choice to continue or go on or go back home. I don't think that's a spoiler in any way. The context is what I think matters there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I heard a noise outside. Got distracted.
And burgled.
I hope not. Don't say those things. Not in this environment, my God. um, but yeah, I just the both endings I think are very good. I think it's what Ava is doing is very good. I think thematically also for me, I don't want to spoil some of the stuff, but they
Yeah,
present
no.
a question at the very end of the game, and I'm just like, damn, like y'all fucking got me, and I'm like tearing up thinking of, or I was tearing up, you know, at that last question. It was like, fuck, y'all had a thing with this. You had a purpose and you had a why, and I love it. I love my interpretation of it. And I truly love Ava. I can't wait to go back and just climb. It's so fun. I can't wait to do the free solo stuff where you dump all your gear and you're just going because you just have to rest properly and climb. It's a very fun climbing game. I have 13 or 14 hours in it on Steam. So yeah, not
more than I was expecting then, or about what I was expecting then. Glad you vibed with it. I mentioned before, it sounds like a very early top game of the year contender for you, starting off in January, which is more than I can say.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it falls off. The story and the technical stuff of it both are really solid enough where it should stay, but who knows? This game is, or this year, backing up. It should be cool. Yeah, highly recommend Karen. Give it a 4.5 out of 5. I think we're doing 5s, right?
I will say backlog does 5s. We're sticking to the 5s.
Perfect.
I love that site.
I also
love using it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, now I want to hear about a game that I was going to try, but you honestly deterred me from it, and that is Yakuza Pirates in Hawaii. It got added to Game Pass sometime last month.
Yeah,
you are now fully done with it, right?
I am my first Yakuza game, 100% achievement wise. Would be multiple others. The series has a secret boss, Amon, who is in every single series, beats your ass. This one was the easiest interpretation of that fight in the entire series, to a point I almost don't feel good completing it. So I was like, this was laughable. But yeah, it's Yakuza Pirates in Hawaii. Came out Game Pass. I forget what I said I was going to try and play in February, but this completely derailed it. Again, huge newer Yakuza fan. Yakuza Like a Dragon, Yakuza 7. One of my favorite games of this generation. I would legitimately say probably a top 10 game all time for me. Like, it had its hooks in me. Since then, I've played 8, enjoyed a little less, still enjoyed. I've gone back to some of the older ones with Kiwami. Tried the other most recent side story, The Man Who Erased His Name, which famously hard bricked my Xbox about every hour, so I could not actually play it. That's my luck. For those unfamiliar with the series, Yakuza with 7 has switched to open world, turn-based RPG format. So any game with Like a Dragon in it will be that newer RPG style. All the side games are still holding to the old 3D brawler, button mashy, stringing together combos, that sort of gameplay. So you kind of get to pick and choose when you want to hop into these. Brawler style, not my favorite. So immediately jumping into Pirates in Hawaii, it kind of was a throw off. I was like, I don't really want to fully invest in this. But it takes place roughly 6 months after the events of the previous game, 8. Following who's been a major side character, Goro Majima washes up on a beach, has full amnesia, does not remember who he is, does not remember any of his past, and happens to be rescued by a small child whose family has ties to piratery, and everyone in Hawaii is pirates, and they have a secret pirate base called Lost Atlantis, which is a giant casino, gambling, ship battle, whatever royalty ran by a queen, and Samoa Joe is in this game for reasons. Just off the rails, which at first, like, okay, cool, we're doing weird stuff, but they lean into the pirate stuff so hard, where in between missions, you are using your boat, you can customize with different weapons on the right side, left side, cannons on the front, customization. We're traveling island to island to do main story beats. Doesn't feel really good. The sailing is very, 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 very slow, to a point where I was watching TikToks and YouTube videos on my phone in between, because it's like 5 minutes to get to one place to another. Really pulls you out of it. Um,
Damn, that sucks. That was like one thing I was interested in. Like, is this like Black Flag? Is it enough? I'm glad I
no,
didn't play
not
it.
even
That would have
close.
instantly would have been like daily. So damn.
Yeah, it's being a main focus of the game and that idea of it. It just falls short across the board. Like the sailing doesn't feel good. They were talking leading into launch of how Goro has two fighting styles. So he has his Mad Dog style, which is his usual street brawler, and then you can hit down on the D-pad, will switch to his pirate style, changes his outfit to his pirate outfit, you get your swords, doing weird shit. And the way they talked about it was like, oh, you could seamlessly tie in combos from one to another and pull off all these cool things. And you can't. You have to stop everything you're doing, stop all movement to hit down to switch styles. You can't tie them together. It doesn't feel natural doing. The side game aspects of this make every other part of it feel even more side gamey and less important. A lot of the voice acting is missing that you would expect from the main series. A lot of the side quests that I fall in love with and had me crying in 8 are either rehashes of stuff you just did in the last game or lesser versions, or oh, there was another Japanese guy here not too long ago doing the same thing. Maybe you could take his place. Like, just very on the nose, not well thought out story wise. It just made for a very miserable experience for me. 100% of it though. I'm still there.
Still beat it.
Still beat it. But yeah, I had great expectations coming off of my love for the series, and it was not it for me at the end of the day. I would honestly not recommend it. Like, stick with the main game, stick with 7 and 8. Those have the sauce. This has very openly time consuming mini games we're going to make you do to progress and unlock things, and this feels bad. The main Pirate Coliseum, you have to do this to raise through the ranks and make a name for yourself and fulfill your honor, is 30 missions that are, some are, okay, you're going to do 2 fights. First half is going to be a ship battle, and then you're going to raid that ship to do a melee battle. And then we're going to reset and do it again with a different crew. And that'll be 1 mission. But then you go to the next mission, and it's just the ship battle combat of that. So you fight the exact same ships without the like melee fighting, and that's a separate mission. But then you go to the 3rd mission, and it's just the melee fighting of it minus the ship combat. So you're doing these things like 3 times for literally no reason other than to waste your time. Progress. It's just, it's so infuriating for how great that series is.
Padding.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I genuinely, like, 2 out of 5 is where I landed on it, which sucks coming from the highest 5 out of 5s I could have given for the previous to dropping down to this, which maybe it's just a side thing. Maybe I skip the next side game and just stick with the main one. Because there's a lot coming. Like, they have the new game series I forgot the name of. They just gave a new name at the PlayStation Showcase not long ago. And then one of the original creators has his new game coming out that's pretty much Yakuza, but more brutal and adult. So, plenty to look forward to if pirates and reused content and assets aren't your thing.
Funny. Well, fun.
Not fun.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not fun. I mean, you 100%ed it, so you had some fun. I think you had the fun of achieving that.
It was. I think too, it was only like 28-ish hours, I think, for everything. Which the main game, I think 8, I finished at like 88 or 89 to show you how different size-wise this game was and how little of content there was that wasn't rehashed.
Well, we'll see you on the next Yakuza if you go jump into it. But something you might and should, maybe not, I don't know. Maybe you should jump into something we got is Mario Tennis. We got the new Mario Tennis Fever. Good old sports game. Just me and my wife love these things, and it's pretty good. Pretty good Mario sports game. The one downside, I'll start there and then I'll talk about it because it's like such its own thing. The motion control mode, it's like its own separate thing. That sucks. That it just such a it just tells me you don't give a shit. It's
Not.
like we want to make a good tennis game, and then there's Nintendo Switch Sports. Go play that if you want the motion control. This is here because it has to be, and don't expect it again. It just is not. I've never raged quit. Like we were getting frustrated. It just didn't make sense. The swing mode in that. But outside of that, like playing controller, it is really good. You know, it's has a lot of depth to it, which I think is surprising. The fever rackets, which are special rackets, which all of a sudden you can like hit a bullet bill at someone. Those can be OP and weird at times. But overall, it's a really tight sports game. What I really commend and what made me be like, or what pushed me over the edge of wanting to get this, is the adventure mode, the solo mode. It has a campaign, essentially. You are Mario and co, and a big bad shows up, turns everyone into babies. And now you're baby Mario and baby Luigi, and you have to go back to tennis school to learn your tennis skills to go beat the big bads. And you go around on this little map and you search things, and then you have to like hit little bombs at the giant block wall until their health falls out. So you're using tennis to go through these little levels and go through a story. And that's exactly what I want out of a Mario sports game story. Nothing crazy, nothing too serious. You're fighting enemies by hitting. Why do the enemies have a tennis racket? Why are we just playing tennis like this? Whatever, don't explain it, let's just do it. It's great in that regard. And yeah, and it's just been a fun time to play so far, so very solid.
You're settling your battles as rich people do on the court.
Yes, he is.
Yes. Is it? I'm surprised you picked up tennis. We're both hard in on the Switch, but like, is there enough here to warrant $70? Like, do you regret investing in it at all?
No, because I think if it didn't have a solo story thing, I would be bummed about it. But they do. There's an overworld. There's different biomes. I was annoyed at the tutorial, but then by the end of it, I was like, oh, that's the whole tutorial. And then there was a whole other biome to go through that's ice. And then now I'm in the jungle biome with Donkey Kong. And Daisy just joined me. So there's more to it than I thought. And with that, and then there's the whole trial towers that I haven't touched. There's the ranked mode, which I hopped into, and they start you at B, and I got to C-. Too quick. Damn, I was getting my ass whipped in ranked mode. I do not know how to play this game ranked. But it just worked. I wanted to try out and see how ranked worked, and it did. It loaded quick. You're in a match with people, and you're no lag at all. So that worked well. So yeah, I just think it's a very solid game for what it is. It's, I think, more than enough for a Mario family sports title. You know? The swingy stuff could be more. I think that is the biggest thing, but I can understand them being like, we have a title that has motion control tennis. Like, that's what that's for.
Mm-hmm.
And this just satisfies how does it not have motion control? It has to, right? It has to a degree. So it's weird.
It's something I look at and I wish I could say like, oh, wait for a sale or something. We all know that's not going to happen. Yeah, Black Friday, maybe, but yeah, I feel like it's a lot of my issue with Nintendo, even on Switch 1, where I can't warrant the price for how much time I'll spend with them. And like, I remember I rented the shit out of Mario Tennis on N64, but for long periods and stretches and keeping it in the system and like playing it throughout nowadays, I don't necessarily know if I personally would see myself doing that.
Yeah. It's even different, you know, with a kid. She's now just super attached to Mario. Hold on.
Nope. He's stepping away. Like, is he getting the little people again?
Look at these things. These are $6.
Dick. I would wear those.
Yeah, so those are $6 at Kohl's. My wife found crazy.
Perfect.
And she, like, my daughter saw them and was like, "Whoa, Mario!" She just all of a sudden it just clicked, and now she's super attached. She carries around the Yoshi and Luigi little person people thing around a lot. It's adorable. But that definitely persuaded in getting it as well.
We saw the little people set at Walmart yesterday when we were there. Actually, Hannah pointed them out. I was like, Like, I don't
Nice.
even look at these because I cannot afford a kid right now, but god damn it, it's hard to. I was like, do I buy them now just to have them, just in case? How long are they going to be on the shelves?
They're really adorable. I'll say that. I got a Bowser. We got a Mickey Mouse set too, so like we're crossing everything.
Perfect.
Mickey Mouse and Mario hang out. It's great. But yeah, it's just I think it's very fun. It's an easy 4 out of 5 for me. Sticking with that. It just, again, all these games should have a first person or a single player campaign. It just should. A light story. It doesn't need to be intense, especially like a Mario or any family like game that's made for families. Like, right? Like, I just think, why not just have someone be able to play it, sit through, go through it. It teaches you the game. And if you're something that's accessible, you're trying to be accessible for multiple ages, that's the perfect way to teach them how to play, is walk them through step by step. Because what's really cool is like the challenges change. Sometimes you're just hitting it back and forth. Other times you have to, like the one I just did while I was waiting for my daughter to wake up. I was just playing Mario as she was waking up. As well. I was like, here, listen to Mario, wake up. You had to like hit the ball up to hit one of the flower piranha plants, and he was up high. So it teaches you to hit a shot up instead of down, and some were down low, so you had to aim it low. So it just, those things are needed in these games. So that's why I really appreciate it and think it's better than most. Like the golf one was all right. There was something missing in that. It did have a single player thing, but there was something, I don't know. I don't think I like that gameplay as much.
It depends.
Maybe it's because it's switched to Switch 2. You know, maybe that's literally what it is.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, like it's, when I saw it on the list that you had, I was like, oh, we are thoroughly invested in the Switch ecosystem now. And even we're both out here dropping $20 on old Pokemon games now too. So it's like, this is the primary console.
Yeah, unfortunately, but fortunately, it's awesome.
It's great.
Yeah, we'll talk about Leaf Green at some point because we both got it.
You, my other WoW friends on Discord, all got Leaf Green. I'm like, you sons of bitches.
None of us did Fire Red. That's crazy. I just wanted my Bulbasaur. I didn't want.
See, Red was my original. Red was my first one. So I'm like, I'm going to switch it up this time. That's why I swapped over to Leaf Green, but.
That's fair. I think I would have, if I knew, if we talked about it, I would have done the other then. But oh well, not that big a deal. Anyways, yeah, so that's Mario. But I think they do game share stuff, so we should try at some point for funsies. But I want to hear about some Steam Next Fest demos that you tried. That is not annual, but I think this is annual, but they do it multiple times a year. Steam hosts a bunch of demos as part of their Next Fest event. Just games that are not out yet, smaller studios, sometimes some bigger games. I think Karen was a part of this at one point. I think that's where I tried it in summer. So a lot of good titles. I did not really touch any in the game. I have some downloaded, like Hidden Raccoon. I just had to find a Hidden Raccoon, but I never played it. And then I did play this for 30 minutes. Ranger's Path National Park. You just work in a national park as a park ranger. Fucking love that game already. You had to fix trails and fix a trail sign. Oh, it's so much fun. So I could see myself going back to that. But that's all I tried. So I cannot really say I played demos this Steam Next Fest, unfortunately. But which ones did you try and get into?
Yeah, I wanted to try and branch. I downloaded 3. Sadly, only got around to 2. Other things happening in life. The one I didn't get to is the one I really wanted to try. They had one up for Dosa Divas. The next game from the Thirsty Suitors team was on there. I did not get around to that, but I downloaded it. That one I wanted to play, one I was interested in, and then a weird one I found that grabbed my attention.
Nice.
I want to start with the weird one because I had such high expectations for it. It is called MMO 98.
See, you've been posting about it, but I never watched the.
I want you to picture turning your computer on in 1998 and what that looks like. With the Windows cloud background, the gray windows with the blue bar on top telling you what it is, where the close minimize. This game is that, and I'm going to put it on screen to explain what it is. But at its core is a management game, essentially, where you are making the next big MMO. You're making the name. You are randomly generating through cover images of generic fantasy art to market this. You have to set up servers. You have to set up like a West Coast server, an East Coast server, server in European to get more players. You're doing marketing things to build up hype. It sounds really cool because you're like, oh, it's a management game where you're making games. You have a little, not Clippy, but his name is Norman on the side of the screen who just dances around. It gives you a little image of what like a main town in your game looks like as players come in, and it builds up and they're doing things. It's got a little fake chat down in the bottom corner where people are like asking for carries and dungeons and bitching about bugs and complaining about buffs and nerfs. It's like, it's got all the charm. And you're doing a loop essentially where you're raising enough money, doing a little clicking mini game to weed out bugs in your game to start development on your next game. And you could do a bunch of development cycles, which will increase its quality, increase its art, increase its design. Like, you do sequels. You're just doing sequels over and over and over. Like, cool, that's a cool premise. You're building on top of things. You can name games after each other to have like a story going or branch off. And then you make your first sequel and you look at your stuff, and everything you built up to, from servers to upgrades to your hype to marketing deals, are all reset every single time. Like, oh, that kind of sucks. And then you look at the costs for your next development, and it's like $50,000 more than your last one was, which takes so long. You just end up in a really bad cycle where you're waiting for money to come in over time, occasionally clicking over to the bug minigame, which is just a bunch of letter number combos that are like, they'll start shaking and spazzing out if they're corrupt, and you have to just click on them to get them out. And you're just doing a lot of AFK waiting for something that has such a cool premise behind it, an idea and theme and music, and the pieces are there. It's just the main gameplay loop just falls apart so incredibly fast. And I got through, I think, I got to my fourth sequel I got through. And when you get through your first one, it does give you a separate currency that you can use on permanent upgrades, but it's so minimal where it does not increase the time at all. You're still starting at point A. You're not starting with servers already established. You're not starting with development already started. You're not starting with faster XYZ. Like, it's such background minute bullshit. It just hurts. Like, I see the pieces.
Yeah, just not balanced.
Yeah, I see the pieces. It's just not fully fleshed out.
Nice. No, hopefully they get the right feedback from this. And I don't think it was like a game that's out, right? It's usually these demos are games that are still going. So yeah, hopefully they get the right feedback and can make the right adjustments. Because yeah, as you were talking, it sounds awesome. But yeah, it really is. Kind of came out of nowhere. You were like, and it blows at the end. It's like, oh shit, you got me even how you were describing it.
Yeah.
So it sounds really interesting and intriguing. Have you played a Game Dev Tycoon at all? You ever play that?
I have not. I've seen it around, but I have not.
Got it. It's very, very, very straightforward, simple game at the end of the day. But yeah, as you're talking about, it's kind of like that, but different, and you're focusing on one game and the specifics of that, as opposed to making game after game after game in that one. All right, cool. We'll have to. Hopefully, they can fix it up. Keep an eye on that one.
Yeah.
The whole premise and the whole style of it being like, an MMO and with those windows, like, it's so cool. It's a cool style.
Because I was even hoping, like, the little window it shows you of your game happening and players walking around. I was like, oh, maybe if you go through a sequel, like, the graphics will change and like go through time. It's just the same town image over
and
every time.
Like, that's something. Yeah, and that's such a thing that as they get more money, more time to develop, you start seeing reflected, hopefully. Yeah, it's just that's a natural progression in it. Yeah.
And then the next one, the first one I tried out, the one I'm optimistic on, a lot of people have been checking this one out, and for good reason, is Vampire Crawlers.
Yes, I did watch you play this for a little bit.
Pseudo sequel to Vampire Survivors that is now a first-person dungeon crawler card-based strategy game, which sounds wild, but it is exactly what it sounds like, and it works so well. It is the Vampire Survivors art style in first person. You are picking your same characters from Vampire Survivors that have their own special abilities, this time in the form of cards and starting decks. So your whip does 9 damage base to enemies on screen. Magic wand prioritizes attackers. They'll have little slight differences, so you can kind of build your deck around those. But where it shines, and I think a lot of people will fall deep into, your cards all have mana base. So you start with 3 mana. Your whip, for example, is 0 cost, doesn't spend any mana. So you do your whip, you do your 9 damage. Say you have a spinach card, is 1 mana that does 10 damage, 10% bonus damage for, I think it's a set 10 turns, or it's for that floor of the dungeon, which you could just keep stacking. So essentially, at one point, I had like 190+% damage with my spinach cards. But if you do a 0 cost into a 1 cost, you start building a multiplier for damage. So it becomes a 1 times multiplier. Then if you do a 2 cost mana, it becomes a 2 times, up to a 3 times. And that starts snowballing really well to, oh, you can clear off a whole wave of enemies at once. Or you start getting cards that, when you use them, will refresh your hand for free without going through the enemy's turn. You can keep that combo meter going over and over and over, almost, I mean, assuming infinitely if you have the right build, where you just don't let the enemies have a turn, because you just keep refreshing your hand and deck with the right upgrades. And it works in a sense of, like I said, I see people big braining it, like finding the best case scenario for fights. But then it also works as a way of walling you off. So side bosses almost have a necessity to master that mechanic. If not, you're just getting bodied. It'll kick you out. You're back to, they have like a hub village. You can go back, buy characters, buy upgrades like in Vampire Survivors, and do your runs again. But it really hinges on you building a deck around those multipliers, refreshing your hand, getting upgrades for your cards. Whether it's your whip attacks twice, so your whip does fire damage or knockback, because the enemies approach you in waves. So you'll have 5 enemies in row 1. You can knock them back, where they then have to spend a turn to walk up towards you again before they can attack. So you kind of get a free turn. You can combo things that way. Like, there's so many little skills and micro things happening that it's just, the possibilities are endless. And I think it'll really carry a lot of the weight for a game like this, where Vampire Survivors is, think, countless hours into doing the same runs and doing different builds. This has that exact same flavor, just with it. I really enjoyed it. I believe it's everything: console, PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, iOS, Apple, Android, and I think it's also a Game Pass release when it comes out. So,
yeah. That's cool. I wish I liked games like this, but it's cool that they can make a jump and it be good.
Yeah, for being how drastically different it is from what Vampire Survivors was. Like, I was kind of cautiously optimistic, but like I said, a lot of people are playing this. A lot of people have their eyes on it for good reason. And it seems to be hitting. It's got the charm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the same core gameplay loop, but just, or not gameplay, but the same mechanics, just different delivery system, right? You're stacking things on top of each other to do damage to stuff, and same idea here. You're just doing it card, right?
Yeah, it's not.
So
it's
cool
not.
That they could evolve it and kind of switch it up.
It's not perfect. I will say there is some things. I wish enemies had health bars. There's the only way to tell if you're going to kill somebody is when you select your card. It'll show how much damage is going to happen, and if it's red, it shows it'll kill them. If not, it's just yellow. I wish there was a solid health bar, especially for bosses. And the wave-based system gets kind of confusing, because if you kill an enemy during the attack is still happening, the next row will automatically start moving up when it's happening, and you're not really sure if they're taking damage or if they're just taking that place, like some UI miscommunication with the player. Okay. I wish that was sorted out, but I got time. Again, sometime later this year.
Okay, I was going to ask when's date. No date, just this year?
Nah, yeah, just 2026 for now.
All right. Sounds cool. We'll keep those on, especially since it's coming to Game Pass. That makes it nice for me.
Right, easy free try. Well, Game Pass price try,
Exactly. Well, yeah. Either way. All right. Well, that's the stuff we kind of have review preview wise for this month. It's crazy that it's March now, right? February's gone. But let's talk about what we are going to be playing in March, kind of our loose ideas, predictions. I mean, it's not even a loose idea here for some of these, but
say number one.
Let's talk. Yeah, let's talk marathon. We just came off of the server slam, ended today. We got some time in. I got like 8 hours the day I dropped. It's everything that it was when I've been playing it in the open and closed test, and it's better. You can shit on the visuals, especially that open showing, but visuals can always be touched up. That gameplay still feels good. I feel like they've tightened up a lot of the feeling and the movement, and for me, it just solidified everything I've thought about this game. I am so ready just to get in and start playing for reals. All these tests are just, you get eventually contract disabled, it's like, oh, you won't let me progress. Come on. Like, I don't want to be stopped like this because it's a test.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the lore. I'm ready for the story. I'm ready to see this weekly battle pass. I want to know how Bungie is going to do this. Coming from Destiny 2, having everyone be like, man, the weekly seasonal story, that sucked. And now this past year and a half, go look at creators, you see them start asking, hey, was the seasonal model bad actually? Do we actually miss that thing? Did we have a good thing and we just complained about it? So I think Bungie has opportunity here with Marathon to create something, maybe a 2-week cadence. That'd probably be the sweet spot to me, of where you got to get back in, get the update, and move on. So that's what I'm ready for. I just, the moment to moment, the tight, tense gameplay. We've had some awful runs, and we've had some bad ones. We had some good ones. I've had good runs solo playing as the Rook, which is the solo only one. Just, it's all over the place in the best way. Very varied. It's so the people writing, trying to define what this game is going to be in a server test is ridiculous. So many videos and posts of like, this is my thought on Marathon, the final thoughts on Marathon, Arc Raiders versus. It's not even out yet, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's Bungie. Like, there's so much more here. We haven't even heard about the 4. We haven't known about Durandal. Come on, you guys. There's so much more going on. Marathon, the whole cryo archive. Like, they're gonna start dropping story. There's aliens in Marathon, and we have not seen them yet. That cryo archive is going to be like discovering the flood in Halo. Okay, people, we're gonna lose our shits when we get in that cryo archive. I'm telling you. Okay, Bungie has something ready to go. Sorry, all right, Glaze Fest over. As you can tell, I'm all in on it. I'm super hype. I'm ready for something to fill the Destiny the cavernous hole that Destiny has left in my heart. Rocco, how have you felt playing Marathon? The short amount of time we played.
It's a game. I've decided with this, extraction shooters are my thing. I think our last session we did 2 nights ago we played. We had that was the most fun I had with it. We had really good runs, like action packed, where we were able to hold our own and not just get shreked immediately. That was fun. That moment to moment I enjoyed. The rest of it though, and it could just be a mixture of understanding things and the UI and all those issues everyone points out, but the downtime in Marathon for me was more prevalent than it was when we were playing Arc Raiders. A lot of times I was just honestly standing around while you or a teammate were looting, and I was kind of hanging out, like not enough in between things to do. And I would wander off just as I was bored looking for things, and that led to me being killed immediately. That to me feels like a majority of your time play sessions will be. But then you do have those good moments that we had that last time, and I was like, damn, this is fun. I was having a blast. We were taking people down, like last minute extractions, really close gunfights with people. Like, that's fun. The gameplay is solid. Just the loop of the extraction shooter just isn't my jam. But I hope it succeeds. Like, obviously, yeah, I hope it succeeds and does well. But like you mentioning the alien race right now, like that are they gonna do a drop of a new faction like Helldivers does? Like, if they have that level of things ready for updates and content, like that could be exciting. And I hope that lands with people and people stick with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I think it's like within a month we get a drop because you can't just fight robots. You just can't, and they're gonna add more to it, and we're just gonna get little drops of that. It might just be contained for now, but yeah, I could. They did some of this stuff. All right, I want to like stop and talk about what you were saying. The moment, like, I feel Marathon compared to Arc so far, Arc is a lot slower paced, and I feel like Marathon is not. It is fast. I feel like it wants you to get in, go to where you need to go, get your contract, and you want to get out, or you're sitting and you're focusing on the PvE stuff because there's events that if you stick in one zone and you take all the enemies out, more will spawn in and they'll get higher rank. Eventually, you do that enough times, the whole zone will lock down, and then you'll get more waves of enemies that just increase loot drops and increase in difficulty there. So there's PvE events that are happening, and that there's more of those going to be in the full game. And that's where that Destiny style stuff comes in, where they've just been like testing an open world already in Destiny. Now it's just take those public events, make them a little more challenging. They're in this. So I feel like a lot of people, especially going off of the complaints from this weekend too, online, even where they were today, I think people just learned what the game is. And I think it isn't go wander around and you got to go in with a goal, because when you don't, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't have a bounty. I'm kind of like, what am I doing? But when you have direction, I think it's very tight. But I think that's just the game. You're either going in aimlessly looking for loot, and that's the whole point of it, or you go in your contract and it is get in, get out, because it is dangerous. AI enemies, did you think they were too tough or appropriately leveled? Because that was a lot of criticism online.
I don't think they were too tough. I feel the distribution and amount of them is kind of off.
Yeah.
In a way that, like, there was one time we spawned and almost immediately, like, the first area we walked into was just swarmed with like a mixture of every single enemy type there was, and we died immediately, and that doesn't feel good. Like, I wish it was started
we walked
around...
into like a high level area though.
Yeah, which, how do you know that though? Like,
exactly, that comes with playing it and learning this world. You're not. And that's where like an issue with the game is it's a steep learning curve, unless there's a more expansive onboarding thing that's about to drop in a couple days, because it comes out the 5th, which there's not. Like, there is an issue with onboarding and learning. It's a steep learning curve. I didn't have issues with the items because I've seen them multiple times. So it's like I have to recognize that. But yeah, valid criticism.
I think I want just to see how it would work. I wish there was a time where early on when you first load in, it was just the weaker enemies, and the more time you stay in the region, the higher tiers and the more difficult ones come out. I think that would work a little better, maybe, and it adds to that tension of, do we stick around longer to try and get this done, lose all our stuff? Like that, if it would be better than just being thrown to the wolves, because there is a lot. Like invisible enemies, wall enemies, charging enemies, like there is a lot to understand.
Yeah, and there is differences in maps, and it does tell you the difficulty when you're choosing them. So the one that we keep referencing, I think that we're on the same page here, that round was on Dire Marsh, and we just went into a high level zone that had a purple shielded enemy that we dumped multiple rounds into, and then one of us went down, and then it was all downhill from there. But different maps have different difficulties, so you have to come in, figure it out specifically. A lot of people complained about shields, or time to kill was rough. I did not feel that like time to kill was bad. It only felt rough if you went in without a shield. If you were just, I think it was a gray shield. If you're just doing the base, like, it kind of was rough. But anytime we came across players and I would shoot them and they have a green shield, it's like it's not whoever shoots first wins. I did not experience it that often unless I was underkitted. Then it's like, okay, well, oh well. I want a free kit. I got no shield. That makes sense. I feel like this game is going to be really big. I think it's not in context, right? I think it's going to achieve a lot and do way more than people are expecting because it's Bungie. They've been quiet since the final shape. like, come on, they have not been doing enough in Destiny story wise, technically wise, mechanical. Like, it's just been pretty standard with a lightsaber thrown in. So all that, they either left the studio or they are working on Marathon. And I think this, I'm ready to see what they have. I'm really high on it, which, take my words as glazing. That's fine.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a little biased.
Hear more about your words. I think penciled in right now, the 21st of March will be our Marathon review episode. Maybe find someone to hop on to bounce off of you off that has also been playing. But March 21st.
Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna have to find a group to play with, reach out, find someone else who's playing, because
March 21st will be the official review episode for Marathon to get all the final thoughts. Let a week or two go by, the reset, see what happens.
Yeah, that's the thing. I want to see a week reset too. But that'll be this Thursday. What else happens this Thursday?
This Thursday, Kyle, I'm another one I'm surprised you put on the list. Do you want to make an alliance in an island together? Pokopia Island together, Kyle?
Pokopia. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, Pokemon Pokopia out this Thursday. I am sold on it. Reviews dropped today. Embargo lifted. I heard everything I needed to hear from this game. What are you on this game, though? I don't think we've really talked too much about it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of assumptions.
At first, I wasn't really high on it. Like, the initial thing of it, it looked like a very empty Animal Crossing clone. And the more they've shown off and the deeper they go into systems and mechanics and characters and everything around it is added onto it. Reviews dropped today, actually great across the board. A bunch of 9s almost everywhere, a couple 10s. The online side of it excites me. You can essentially have a living server like Minecraft where whoever started it doesn't need to be on, which alone is awesome. Can't wait. It has the game share on it. So I only have one Switch 2 in my house. Girlfriend loves Animal Crossing. She'll be able to hop on the Switch 1 and play along with me. Like that, I feel it's going to be a great time sink. I hope they have post content lined up. I hope they have holiday things lined up to capture that Animal Crossing vibe. Because now with the Switch 2 upgrade for New Horizons, it's going to be a long while before we get that proper Animal Crossing. And this being a Switch 2 exclusive feels like it's going to hold that down for years to come. And I hope there's enough post-launch there to have it succeed. But yeah, I'm excited. Looks derpy, looks fun. I'm all for the vibes, the coziness of it, the systems of it, just everything across the board I'm down for.
Yeah, I was waiting for reviews to see where it shook out. It kind of looked like a lot of different things going on in the game. And so what exactly was it going to be? But yeah, the reviews being able to... I didn't expect it to be like a potentially 100+ hour game that can just be played that way, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing I have an issue with Animal Crossing is the time. I log in, I'm like, oh shit, it's nighttime. I forgot. It's like how often I forget it's stuck on time of day. I'm not doing the time travel, changing my Switch thing. Like that's not how you should. I'm not doing that.
Nah.
So that not being a thing helps because I do want to be able just to put my head down and play the game and progress how I want. When I want to and be able to put it down and whatnot. So echo all the online stuff with you. That's amazing. I love the cross-gen things. That's, again, why would you want to dip out on that whole install base at this point? But, it's a really cool thing that they can do game share across gens. Because then, like, in your case, it doesn't split households because not every household can justify buying 2-3 Switches, right? Depending on their situation. Yeah, my wife, I was watching Kind of Funny's review of it, and I was like, damn, this game looks awesome. And then, like, 5 minutes later, my wife texts me, hey, wow, I'm really excited for this Pokemon game. I'm watching Kind of Funny. I was like, all right, this is something we're buying. We bought Switch Lights, and she dumped hours into Animal Crossing, so I expect this to be a time sink, because I have Marathon coming out. She has a game for herself, so it's just like perfect timing.
That's in the back of my mind. I was like, oh, the Hannahs are going to have an island together and just be on there 24/7.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah. So I'm really intrigued. I like all the stuff they're doing. The whole idea of catching Pokemon and having them do stuff in your island, making biomes. and attract more Pokemon. That's like the management side of it I want. I didn't want to be going out and fighting things. So I like that's not a part of this game. This is a more casual, just go and play it and catch Pokemon. So ready. My daughter is just being inundated with iconic characters right now, and she's noticing Pokemon and like, oh, like I got Pikachu in Leaf Green today and got her to say Pikachu and like, oh yeah, Pikachu. I'm like, oh, here we go. This is it. Like characters are now a part of her life. So can't wait to have like play this around her too, because it's an adorable game. That should be fun.
That's good. It's a great way to, obviously tennis was here, but great way to kick off the Switch 2's first full calendar year, I would say.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Talk about, you kind of talked about World of Warcraft. Do you have anything more to say about Midnight or anything?
Out in a couple hours tomorrow. That'll be my thing. Probably streaming. Wanted to go through questing at least. See how long it takes. I'm gonna play in kind of a handicapped way, I would say. I've seen a lot of people on TikTok where people bitch about, oh, you just do questing and you fly from point A to point B to complete quests. There's been a group of people on TikTok who have exclusively only used ground amounts and kept their feet on the ground for the whole questing experience to have it be kind of an old school style and not just a rush through and skipping the landmarks and design and stuff. So I'm going to play that way just to fully immerse myself again. And yeah, it's a couple hours away. I can't wait.
You're at the like following traffic laws in Grand Theft Auto part of playing that game. You're just like, I'll just walk.
It's been 20 years, might as well.
No, that makes sense. You just burst through things and you're like, oh wait, did I actually play it or did I just click through and accept missions?
Yep.
That'll be fun for you. All right, well, last one you added with a question mark, and I think it actually is something we should talk about because it's probably at this point, we can guess and say, I think it wouldn't be silly to say, this is the game of the year contender based off everything they're saying and showing. Will it land? We'll see. But that is Crimson Desert coming out March 19th. Sony tried to buy them, tried to get it platform exclusive. They believed in enough to try to lock it down. Pearl Abyss said no. They believed it enough to say, no, we don't want to be locked down on a platform. They have 20, 15-minute multiple 50-minute videos online about deep dive of the world, of the things you could do, of the like very specific things. They are showing it all because they got something here. I am very, very intrigued, realizing the last week how much they're showing and how confident they are. I'm starting to look at it and being like, is this something I'm going to have to pick up because it's like a amazing RPG based off everything they're showing? How do you feel about Crimson Desert? Has it caught you at all?
I want to come around on it. I said before when they show it off every other time, it's something I just pushed aside because it looked like generic Unreal Engine 5 slop and all this other shit, and I didn't pay it attention. I've openly said that, but then you started talking about it, and we started talking about it looking ahead at games this year, and then Kind of Funny and other sites start talking about it. And it seems like a game that's too good to be true. Like there's too many things going on. There's too many gameplay segments. There's too many, just so much happening in one experience that it sounds like it has no right to succeed. But it seems to be like, am I going to be there day one? Yet to be decided, money dependent. But it's something that as reviews and more reviews start coming out, I have not watched any of the stuff they've put out themselves. I've been avoiding that for surprise reasons. But when more preview stuff starts coming out, it will be something I'm paying attention to. Because it's obvious, probably early game of the year contender. And is it this year's Expedition 33? Who knows? But I said at the beginning of the year, I wanted to be a part of more of the bigger games that I would normally skip out on, and this seems to be right in that little niche. So as we get closer, I will definitely be keeping an ear out, and maybe hopping in day one. We'll see.
Yeah, it's I started to look. I wanted to see what engine it's working on, since you mentioned the looking kind of like an Unreal 5-ish type thing. But this is their own proprietary black space engine, and reading and watching some videos in the past and other creators talk about it. They are just choosing what to put in. It's their own stuff, so they can really leverage it exactly how they want. It's none of, with Unreal 5, you're using all of Unreal 5, whether you're using it all or not, right? This is not. If they're not using, this is a super, like, this isn't probably accurate, but if there's a pink shader you're not using, guess what? It's not even in the engine. Whereas Unreal 5 might have stuff like that. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. That's just an explanation, not really how it works. But yeah, I mean, based off of Digital Foundry as well, they did a test, all PC, no console yet. But they're impressed, and it looks well, runs well, looks awesome, doing things well. So the engine proprietary is working. So I'm excited for it. It's caught my attention, like you were saying. If it does what it's saying, it's gonna be bad. It looks, there's moments where it looks like you're exploring the world similar to a Breath of the Wild, where it is just open and you're doing whatever you want, and you can go up to climb up that tower and do a thing, and then jump off and glide to the other zone and go do with your stuff there and collect some like, it looks like a lot of that. And then there's like automatons, and then there's magic and archery. It's just like, there's a lot of variance to it. Can they stick the landing? I don't know. I was talking to my wife, I think casually, about it, and thinking about a studio making an open world MMO, right? That is a time sink for everyone. Like, people just do anything in there, right? Like, there's so much you can do in these type of games. They're just taking all those learnings and making that a single player game. Kind of cool. And I see how that actually can work. Seeing hey, we made this massive open world game. We have to make everyone who's playing it have something to do and spend their time. Now let's just take all that single now. How do we make one person be able to choose what they want to do in this world? I think it can work in that regard. So we'll see. We'll see. But I think we're both in the same boat of waiting for reviews on this one, and whether or not it does what it does, or if it's just doing too much.
Yeah, there's time. We're 2 weeks out now. March 19th is when it drops. So sometime. Is it actually? I don't know. It is on. I was looking at the releases, and I just had PC and PlayStation 5 listed. I was like, is it? We just talked about it being on Xbox. It is there.
Yeah, no, it's on everything. Mac. It's also on Mac. Like, you can buy it on the Mac store.
Gross.
Yeah, so they're everywhere. So I think that's also interesting that their engine can do that, right? Brand new game on proprietary, like they're putting it everywhere. That's either good, bad, who knows? Yeah. We'll keep our eye on that. We'll see if we hop into it by the end. Anything else you would like to talk about? I know Pokemon had a thing. We'll talk about our leaf green stuff eventually, as we both casually work through that. But 30th anniversary, anything?
I'm almost 4 badges in, my guy, so far. You can come on now. We're playing through it. But my thing. No, it's Pokemon's 30th anniversary, not a lot. We did get obviously confirmation for Gen 10, which is coming out next year. To my anger, I wish it was this year for the anniversary. All of the leaks that have come out before seemingly happened and are true. We'll see how it runs on Switch 2 tech, being a Switch 2 only game. New starters are killer. I have gotten 2 techs so far who have openly compared me to my boy Brout, and he is now my Xbox gamer picture and will be my starter moving forward. I did not know why I remind people of him, but I love him dearly. I've seen some speculation about the starters that they're based off of Asian forms of art, and Brout is a sumo wrestler. The gecko is a geisha, and then the dog will be a calligrapher. So I'm curious to see if that actually happens. I'm down for a big old round grass fighting bird from Brout, but looks good. I'm excited. Champions, they gave a release date for that. Weird thing with that game, having a paid season battle pass and paying for storage and all this extra side shit, but gotta make money somehow, I guess.
Yeah, if it's its own self-funding thing, though, I kind of can see how you want that. We'll see if it works, though. It will, because people will pay for it.
Yeah, that's essentially.
I watched the thing because I was streaming Marathon, so I paused to watch it live.
Nice.
that pace was quick. What a crazy pace of that first couple minutes of it. They were just like, yeah, we're here to get in and out.
And then at the end, they're like, here's everything we showed you today. And it's like 18 things on the page. You're like, when did half of this happen?
I was like, if you didn't know what half of these, if you didn't know what the thing they were talking about was, they didn't explain it. They were just like, this is a thing for Pokemon Sleep, and that's a thing, an update. Go check it out. Here's Cafe Remix. Here's an update. I'm like, I don't know what these are on, what these are for. You just had to be in the know. And it was like, whatever. They knew what they were doing, or they knew who was watching, and they didn't care about me, who doesn't know enough about Pokemon.
Figure it out.
But anyway, yeah, I did for some.
Yeah. No, we got one more thing in March to close this out and end off here. Kyle, we're shipping you off. Monday, March 9th, we'll be in San Francisco for Mix plus Kind of Funny Spring Game Showcase leading in the GDC.
Whoop, whoop.
Representing Kyle the Deuce / the download queue. Be there in person, playing games, talking to developers, moseying around, making us look good. Congrats.
Hope, right?
We're pressed now, Kyle. We're pressed.
Yeah, no, we got an email that says press confirmation. So we'll see what that turns into and what shenanigans I'll get into and who to meet. But yeah, we're making a trip going up because we're in LA, going up to San Fran, SF. No one calls it SF. And gonna get the Nintendo store, do some tourist stuff, and then take a break. Honestly, for the weekend, gotta get some square pie guys, stuff like that. Go hiking with the daughter because she loves getting outside. It's going to be so green up there right now. So yeah, gonna enjoy those redwoods. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. And then yeah, Monday, dude, can't wait. Cannot wait. Should be fun. It's wild. Kind of don't believe it still. It won't be real until it's happening.
Right.
It's just like, I'm still like, I'm going to get there and then be like, yeah, that's a spam email. I'm like, yeah, fair enough.
Too good to be true.
So yeah, it's definitely, I'm just like, yeah, it'll be, the next week will be fun.
It's cool. You messaged me, you got the email first. And I was like, when we talked about it initially, I just put one in for funsies on my end, not thinking. And we both got it. I was like, holy shit, we're professional now. But there's a lot there. Like, they have like a list of games and shit that'll be there. It is pages. Like, I'm confused how it's fitting in one space and just a couple hours. Like, it's a one-night event. We're not that long. I'm like,
yeah, it really isn't. So I'm really intrigued on what they're doing. Oh yeah, that's not what I thought. I got an email from them, but it's not. That actually is from a spam.
Jokes for taking that invite back.
No, please. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see kind of the games. Yeah, it'll be a fun time. Talk to developers, meet some people, do some stuff. Come back with some great games.
That's good. It's been a riding high this week. It's like the thing, like both have gotten like review codes and stuff individually and stuff, but like this is feels like a bigger jump for what we're trying to do.
It's a big opportunity, I think, depending on. Yeah, no, I mean, it's an opportunity, to meet developers, talk, and show us off, and be able to show people we can talk about games.
Yeah.
And that we want to just highlight the cool art people are making, the stuff that they deeply care about, and you just gotta. Not everyone can showcase that and highlight stuff well, and do it truly and honestly, and without like, I need to get my clickbaity headline. I don't care what it does to the people working on it. It's like, no.
Is Xbox dead again?
Is it dead again? I don't care what it does if I keep saying that. Encore 3.0, everybody. I don't care what that actually means.
Bungie next to close? Question mark?
No, it's a cool thing. It's a affirming thing, and we just got to keep going. That was really cool. But yeah, I can't wait to cover stuff. Go to SF and do some things. You already sent me your list for the Nintendo store.
I'm just saying, Chad was in chat. We were trying to do this the other day. I was like, not necessities, but like that good Pokemon flower shirt. Like, that's a good Florida shirt. Right before I go to Florida. Such a bitch. I wish they had stuff listed online. Going through multiple YouTube videos, like pausing frame by frame as people are walking around the store to see what they have. Not ideal.
Yeah, that's a little tough. That's a little tough, but I'll be able to send you pictures and whatnot. I think we're going Saturday, so we'll see. We will see. But anyways, that's let's wrap this up. I think that's gonna do another episode. We'll be back. We won't be back next week. We'll take next week off unless you got something you want to do.
Maybe with short turnaround with this episode. We'll see.
Okay, yeah. I'm out of town, so just keep on socials for that. But we'll be back the following week for sure. Just keep on the socials at the download queue on everything, at Kyle the Do for other things, and I think that's the only handle you have, right?
Yep.
Sweet. Well, thanks for watching. Please comment down below any of the games that you played in the past month, what you're looking forward to in March, and join me in Tau Ceti 4, where death make you a god.
3 days.
Can't wait to meet Durandal / Ben Star.
If it's not, I'm gonna be super let down. But
I just want to be. I'm Ben Star Durandal.
I like Terry's chocolate orange.